Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Light Journal podcast. I'm Jamie Perez. Today I'm going to be talking about the mind-body connection to self-healing. This is the third episode in the Level Up Your Spirit Walk series. If you haven't already listened to earlier episodes, you might find it helpful to do so. Did you know that your body talks to you? You may not always understand it, but it's communicating with you. One of its languages is sensations, such as hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, smelling, temperature, and pain. Another of its languages is emotions, such as happiness, sadness, fear, contentment, love, hate, and everything else. As a last line of defense, it also speaks the language of physical and mental health. This is what happens when you don't heed your sensations and emotions. The body begins breaking down and developing illnesses. These are the three forms of communication that can help you live a long and healthy life. If you listen, if you pay attention. The problem is, most people have never been taught to pay attention to their bodies. Instead of seeing the body as a sentient and living being apart from the consciousness, it's more likely you see it as an extension of your consciousness. It exists to serve you. Or, if you were raised in Christianity, you may have been taught that the body is an enemy to the spirit. You have to battle against its desires. So rather than listening and learning from the body, you must deny and suppress its needs. Neither of those perspectives respects your body's sentience, and it is sentient. Scientists have discovered that every cell in your body is individually aware. It may not possess the same level of awareness as the mind, but the mind uses the brain, which is part of the body, to think, feel, and engage in physical activities. And what is the body? Well, it's trillions of cells working together, collaborating to create the body that you live in. By working together, the cells are able to communicate with your mind. I know this idea may be unfamiliar and sound a little strange, but you already know this on an instinctual level. When you get dehydrated, you feel thirst. When you need food, you feel hunger. When you injure yourself, you feel pain. When you are ill, you feel nauseous. These are all forms of sensory communication between the mind and body. These sensations are so ingrained that you instinctively know what to do to ease the body's discomfort. Sensory communication is fairly obvious, but other forms of body communication aren't. This is particularly true with your emotions. You experience emotions through two means, your mind and your body. For example, consider Halloween haunted houses. You know you're going someplace scary, so your heart starts beating fast before you even walk inside. Someone jumps out at you, and what do? You scream. Movies do the same thing with their music. If the music is soft and loving, your mind tells you it's going to be a love scene, and your body reacts to it. If the music is fast and furious, your mind prepares for something exciting. Your adrenaline begins to pump, and you may nervously bite your nails or sit on the edge of your seat. In each of these instances, your mind and body are instinctively collaborating to experience the moment. In other words, the mind and body want to be in agreement with one another. Unfortunately, that isn't always how it works. Sometimes your mind and body are at odds, and that's where problems occur. Humans are programmed by society and by their experiences to do things that are not in the body's best interests. One of those things is your eating habits. Many people are taught to eat 3 meals a day, even if your body doesn't need it. That means your mind is saying, it's time to eat, while your body is saying, but I'm not hungry. If you keep doing this, your body's going to stop talking to you. It's going to stop telling you when it's full and just adapt to the excess calories by adding more fat cells. Then if you want to lose weight, your mind may tell your body to eat less, but the body wants more because now it has all those excess fat cells it wants to keep plump and healthy. The same scenario plays out when you abuse medications and drugs. Initially, the body may resist, but if you insist, the body adapts. Why? Because the mind and body want to be in harmony. Disharmony starts in childhood, when children have to sit at their school desks for hours a day. We all know that's neither natural nor healthy for a growing child. Children need to be moving and active. This keeps them mentally and physically healthy. Schools teach children to ignore their body's need for activity in favor of developing the intellect. This is forced upon the children, day after day, year after year, until the body adapts, harmonizing with the mind. Then, when opportunities for physical activity are offered, the body no longer wants it. Food is a big moneymaker for corporations, particularly in the United States. To make more money, corporations encourage us to overeat. They do it by creating hyper-processed foods that remove most of their nutrient value and replace it with fillers that fool the body into thinking it's still hungry, while also giving us a dopamine boost in our brain. And that dopamine boost is responsible for addictions. Your mind may only want to eat one potato chip, but your body or brain craves more. To create harmony with the body, the mind is more likely to give in and justify eating as much as the body craves. So now that we've discussed the first two ways your body communicates with you, we're going to look at the third way, which is through physical and mental health. When you consistently ignore what your mind or your body is saying, all those sentient cells I mentioned earlier get to the point that they can no longer adapt. This can result in stress-related illnesses such as ulcers, hypertension, heart disease, strokes, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and so on. Stress can also affect your mental health, creating anxiety, depression, mood disorders, etc. When I looked online for stress-related illnesses, besides the general mental and physical health, it listed digestive issues, sleep problems, immune issues, reproductive issues, addiction issues, muscle tension, headaches, and weight gain or loss. All these things happen because you're not listening to the needs of your mind or your body, and that creates disharmony. Your mind affects your body's health, and your body affects your mental health. Research in medical journals are just beginning to recognize this. For example, those struggling with depressive symptoms have a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disease, and other issues. By the same token, those with diabetes and autoimmune disease have a significantly higher risk of having depressive symptoms. The mind and body are designed to be in a state of balance or harmony. And if the underlying issue, such as stress, isn't addressed, then the mind and body move to a lower level of functioning where they can be in agreement. If the issues causing your initial illness aren't resolved, your mental and physical health can become a race to the bottom. Yes, you can treat the symptoms, but that's not a cure. If you want to heal yourself, you need to find the culprit. That isn't a one-time revelation, but a slow reveal. More often than not, you're dealing with layers upon layers of the mind and body adapting to an increasingly lower level of functioning. For example, science has recently shown that physical and/or sexual abuse as a child significantly increases the likelihood of that child becoming obese. In the 2015 article, The Second Assault, which was published in The Atlantic, it says, quote, "Researchers are increasingly finding that, in addition to leaving deep emotional scars, childhood sexual abuse often turns food into an obsession for its victims. Many become prone to binge eating. Others willfully put on weight to desexualize in the hope that what's happened to them as children will never happen again, unquote. This isn't just from overeating. These children can and do suffer from clinical depression, addictions, and stress responses, all of which can lead to weight gain. This example shows how the mind and body are working together to find agreement, even if that agreement is at a much lower level of functioning. Although obesity can and does involve a multitude of health risks, the solution is not weight loss. The mind and body need to establish a higher level of harmony. That starts with addressing the original issues. Counseling may be helpful, but there are also other self-healing techniques. If you want to start listening to your mind and body, you need to make opportunities for that to happen. It's too easy in today's social media world to keep your attention focused on your phone, computer, or TV and silencing everything else in the process. You can't hear your body or mind if your body and mind are always busy. Research shows that society is addicted to social media, and addictions are one of the ways that your mind and body harmonize at a lower level of functioning. In 2019, over 40% of adults between 18 and 22 believed that they were addicted to social media, but it's probably much higher. According to the 2022 article, What to Know About Social Media Addiction in Medical News Today, the symptoms of social media addiction may include a compulsion to check social media, spending long periods on social pages, spending less time doing offline activities, changes in mood, particularly when not looking at social media, withdrawal symptoms, and conflict as a result of social media use. Just like drugs and hyper-processed foods, social media gives people a dopamine boost whenever they get their social media notifications. In other words, the physical brain gets a high from it, and that causes people to spend up to 6 hours or more a day surfing through Facebook, Reels, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and everything else that's out there. When the mind adapts to the body or brain's social media addiction, it frequently results in mental health issues like depression, anxiety, distress, sadness, and other things. If nothing changes, then the body and mind begin harmonizing in a downward spiral, sometimes leading to suicide. So if you want to heal yourself, cutting back on social media is vital. It will not only give your mind and body a chance to recover from those addictive dopamine boosts, it will also give you a chance to start listening on multiple levels to your mind, to your body, and to your higher self. The key to my own healing came from getting a third party involved, one that sees me from a much higher perspective. As you may have guessed, I'm referring to my higher self, my spirit team, Source, Mother Earth, the Sun, and Moon. Their higher perspectives helped me to remove layer after layer of coping mechanisms and lies I've been telling myself over the years. Getting to the truth, the real issue, changed my life. As I repeatedly connected with those higher energies, my mind naturally lifted to a higher level of functioning. I still have some body issues, but I'm getting better at listening to it. And I know that where the mind goes, the body follows. And my mind is definitely in a much better place. Thanks for listening. I'm Jamie Perez with the Light Journal Podcast. I'm currently working on a meditation journal for self-healing that I hope to release by the end of this year. If you would like to learn more about self-healing and spirituality, be sure to visit my website at thelightjournal.online. Blessings on your journey, everyone.